Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you guys how I went from this to this. Everything that I use is going to be linked down below. Yeah, let's get into this tutorial. So I first primed my face with the Watermelon Burst Ciaté London primer and this Tatcha primer. The watermelon one is going to give me just a little bit of a glow. And then I went in with the Anastasia eyeshadow primer and blended it out with my fingers and a brush. For my eyes, I went in with this mini nude Nubian palette from Juvia's place. You can use any neutral palette, and I use this matte shade to apply on my lid and my brow bone and crease, and just blended it out with this Sigma blending brush. And then I went in with this reddish shimmer brown shade and applied it on the outer third of my eyelid and the inner third of my eyelid, and then just connected it up in my crease. I did not apply it in the middle because we're going to put a shimmer right there. And then I flipped the brush. I used a double-ended brush and just blended out the edges a little bit more just so that there aren't any harsh lines. And then with the same brush, I grabbed this copper brown shimmer shade and also applied it on the outer third and inner third of my eyelids and a little bit in my crease. I am using an Anastasia double-ended brush to do this. If you have an Anastasia palette, you have the same brush. And then flip the brush to blend out the edges again. Still using the same brush, I dipped into the matte brown shade to deepen up the outer lid and applied it just a little bit in my crease, but not all the way in. As you guys can see, I'm like creating a C shape or a V shape on the outer lid, and that's what you want to do. And just keep blending, blending, blending so that there aren't any harsh lines. So with the other end of the brush, I dipped into the lighter nude shade in the palette, and it's a matte shade, and just applied it on my brow bone just so that it can get a little bit more color and blend with the other colors on the lid, and also applied some in the crease and on the outer portion of my brow bone, and just kept applying a little bit more of that dark brown shade. Then with my finger, I grabbed the lightest shimmer shade in the palette and applied it in the center of my eyelid, and then just tapped it and blended it out a little bit, just kept it in the middle. And then I grabbed the red brown shimmer shade again and applied it on the edges on top of that shimmer so that it looks blended and it doesn't look like it's just on top of all the colors. And then with the Conrad eyeliner, I created a wing, and I like to create a wing that's really thin towards the inner lid, just so that I can get like that cat eye look. And my eyes are pretty round, so this kind of elongates my eyes. And yeah, this eyeliner is really easy to use. I love it. And then I also just applied on the inner corner and dragged it out just a little bit. So I applied mascara, and then I cut lashes in half, and then I used the inner portion of the lash and applied it on the outer portion of the lid. I hope that makes sense. Just so that it looks a little bit more natural and more full on the outside. And just applied mascara. I used a Tarte mascara, and yeah, I really liked how the lashes looked when I did this. And then I just grabbed a makeup wipe and cleaned up any fallout and cleaned up the edges of the eyeshadow. Okay, so moving on to the face, I used this setting spray from Colourpop. It's refreshing, so I like to start off with that. And then I went in with the Selena GomezPositive liquid highlighter and applied that first to get that glow underneath. And then I went in with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r matte foundation and blended it out with a brush, and you guys are going to see that you're still going to be able to see that glow underneath the highlighter, underneath the foundation, and it's going to look really, really natural and like a glow from within. And then I was getting a little bit of breakouts, so I used this green color corrector pencil from Smashbox and applied it on the breakouts that I had. And then I went in with concealer. I used the Fenty Beauty concealer and blended it out with a beauty sponge. And I like to apply concealer anywhere that I want to highlight my face, especially the center, because I have a round face, so I want the center to stand out. And I use the Juno & Co sponge. I do have a Juno & Co discount code if you guys want to use it. It's in the description box below. And then I also used a brush to blend out the concealer because it was a little hard to blend out on the jawline area. Full coverage a little goes a long way with this concealer. Alright, so my favorite part, I used the Mocha Matchstick from Fenty to contour, and I applied it all on the outer perimeter of my face and then blended it out with my beauty sponge. For the nose, I did use a brush and the sponge to blend out the contour. To set everything, I used the loose powder from Fenty Beauty in the shade Butter, I think, and I used the beauty sponge to apply it on the under eyes and everywhere that I applied concealer first, and then just anything left over on the rest of my face. If you guys haven't noticed, I did fill in my brows off camera. I will link what I used down below. For my lower lash line, I did use the same Anastasia brush and dipped into the red brown shimmer shade and applied it all the way to the inner corner of my lower lash line and blended it out. And then I used the dark brown shade with a smaller pencil brush and just applied it on the outer lower lash line just so that it can create that cat eye look and elongate the eye. And then with a tiny pencil brush, I grabbed the light shimmer and applied it on the inner corner of the eye and brow bone and just dragged it just a little bit on the lower lash line. And then I used this matte brown shade just to blend out everything. I just grabbed a little bit of this with another pencil brush. For my waterline, I used this gold pencil eyeliner from NYX and just applied it for a little bit of that pop of gold, and then I applied mascara on the lower lashes. And then for bronzer, I used the Fenty Beauty bronzer and this Patrick Ta brush that I love to use for bronzer, and just applied it basically all over the face, but mostly on the outer perimeter of the face. And then I used the same bronzer to apply on the nose for my nose contour because it did fade away. For blush, I used the Cover FX Duo Blush in the shade Warm Honey and a blush brush from Thrive. And I just kept applying this blush because it's really, really nice and warms up the face. And then I applied the Rare Beauty highlighter on my hand and then grabbed it with the sponge and applied it on my cheekbones. And it creates like a really pretty natural glow. It's not too much, but it's just really, really pretty and on the nose. I normally don't do this, but I applied brow gel as well. This one's from Anastasia, the clear brow gel, but it actually does make the brows look really nice doing this step at the end. For the lips, I used the KKW Beauty 1.5 Nude Lip Liner, and I just love this lip liner. And then I grabbed my favorite red shade at the moment, and it is the Stunna Lip Paint from Fenty Beauty in the shade Uncensored, and this goes on so beautiful and it's very, very long lasting. I felt like I needed a little bit more blush on my cheeks, so I applied more, and then I went overboard, so I blended it out with a sponge. And I used that same setting spray from Colourpop just to set everything, and this is the finished look. I hope you guys liked this Christmas makeup tutorial. Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!